Hello friends, it's Pastor Moses from First CRC. I'm actually sitting right here in our street right now because I have something to show you. Now what you see in front of you is not only the works of my labor yesterday, but it's actually something we call pruning, and that's exactly what we're going to be looking at this Sunday as we continue in our series in sowing, growing, pruning, and harvesting. Now, as most of you know, I have never pruned anything before, but yesterday Gloria and I had the brilliant idea that we're going to prune since we're preaching about pruning. And what exactly is pruning? Why are we cutting things down? And why are we cutting God's creation? Now, if you look, you can probably see some of the debris that hasn't been quite cleaned up yet. And I'll show you right here the works that we did yesterday. Now, it's not a lot, but what we do know is this, that when we're cutting down, pruning this tree, we're not simply cutting things down because we don't need them. We're not simply cutting them down because we want to hurt the tree and its growth. But what we do in pruning is we continue to challenge the tree to grow to its fullest. Sometimes there may be a branch or leaves that are in the way, preventing other more healthy branches to grow. Now, when we think about Nehemiah and the pruning that had to go through in reaching God's ultimate vision of rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem, he actually had to go through some pruning. There were some people who did not necessarily want to see God's vision come through. Now, if we think about Nehemiah, it was probably better if he didn't have any enemies, if he didn't have other people who came to him and said, you don't need to do this, just let it grow on its own. But God had other plans. God had plans to prune that vision that he had sown into Nehemiah. And we see the works that Nehemiah does as he continues in his growth trajectory. And we'll see it this Sunday as we gather together and look at what God has to speak to us in regards to pruning. I hope to see you there.